What you see here, ladies and gentlemen, is 2,500 pounds of steel tubing. This is mostly 20 to 24 foot sections of 1 3/4 round tube for our roll cage applications. We also have a couple of pieces of Schedule 40 2-inch round pipe, as well as 2.5 by 2.5 and also 2 by 2 square tube. All of these pieces have one thing in common. They need to be cut down in order to be usable. We do have our trusty DeWalt angle grinder, but this little tool will not provide the best cut. A wise man once told me that the best way to cut tubing is with a cold saw, because you don't have the flimsy blade of a bandsaw. So I took his advice. So we did our research and ended up buying a Brobo cold saw. This S350D is wired for 3-phase and is made in Australia. Looks like it got to us in pretty good condition according to this tip and tail indicator. So we're going to open it up and see what's inside. So what you see here is the Brobo S350D cold saw. So there it is, the Brobo S350D cold saw. It also comes with its own stand, but the saw is so heavy that I couldn't lift it on there. The stand arrives in pieces as it has to slip over the saw during shipping, but it's pretty easy to assemble. Here are all the accessories that come with the saw: a set of hex wrenches in metric sizes, hold down bolts, a liter of coolant, the coolant tray, a nice Brobo trucker cap, and of course the coveted Brobo bottle opener. Here's the inside of the stand. It's just a handy shelf and the area where the coolant tray goes to. While there are other excellent cold saws out there on the market, I chose the Brobo for a number of particular reasons. This saw has a big worm and bronze gear that provides minimal backlash in order for it to produce precise cuts. The saw also features a rotating bed that allows it to miter cut left and right 45 degrees. Changing blades is really simple. You start by compressing the spring on the pivot and moving the safety guard out of the way. You just slide it back. That then exposes the spindle bolt, which is a 14mm Allen head and has a left-hand thread. The chicken scratch you see written on here isn't from the factory. I just wrote that down to show you guys how to tighten it. So it's clockwise to loosen. And off comes the counterplate. Here's a shot of the spindle hub and one of the reasons why this saw makes such precise cuts. I chose a 162 high-speed steel blade due to the type of steel tubing I'm going to be cutting. Installing the blade is real simple. Just throw it on, Line up the 2 holes, throw on the counter plate, and then tighten it down. The other reason why I bought this saw is due to the vices. This saw comes standard with this dual arm vise, which you see in this darker teal color, which is the same color that's painted on the saw. It has a quick action lever, which makes releasing and clamping down really fast, and then you can tighten it down normally with the speed handle here. The vise on the back, which is a different color, a shade of green as you see, is just a single arm vise, which is optional and I paid extra for. The reason why I wanted 2 vices is, well, this dual arm vise has a second arm, but it doesn't have enough surface area as the single arm vise, so I just wanted 2 vices there to really clamp down on whatever material I needed to make an accurate cut on. The nice thing about these vices are that they're modular. If you remove the Allen bolts, you can easily take them off. With other cold saws on the market, the vices are fixed and you can't remove them. Here's the bottom of the vise. It has a raised rectangular portion that allows it to slide left and right on the bed of the saw. So what's the benefit of having modular vices? Well, if you have a slotted fabrication table like the one from JMR, you can use it to your advantage and bolt the vices down to clamp material with. So with the vices locked down, you can easily clamp material now and safely work on it. The modular vise system that Brobo offers provides versatility that most other manufacturers don't have. Since I invested a lot of money into this cold saw, I wanted all the benefits that it can provide. Another benefit of the modularity is with a steel plate, I'm able to fashion a nice drill press vise. I'm going to need to get another plate since this is only 3/8 thick. I want to get a 5/8 plate so I'm able to counter bore the bolt holes, and also I have to weld this piece of 2.5 by 2.5 square tube to make it fixed, but that'll be for another video. The saw is powered by a CMG 2 horsepower motor. It is a 3-phase and some assembly is required. The reason I got a 3-phase motor is to take advantage of the dual high and low speed. There is a single-phase motor version of the saw, but that only runs in 1 speed and I didn't want that. My only problem is the shop has single phase as well, but I do have a solution for that. It involves gutting all the electronics and wiring in a variable frequency drive. While Brobo provides you all the Allen keys to tighten down the bolts, you will need a 30mm wrench to tighten down this nut. As for the base, I'm going to build metal pellets to bolt onto so I can easily move it around the shop. Big thanks to Dan at Ken Bergman and Associates for selling me the saw and this second 14-inch blade specifically for roll cage tubing. I do have the VFD, but I still have to wire it up, but that's for another video. Until then, that's it for us. We're Wireless Productions. Catch you guys later.